All right, we'll just wait a second or two. And excuse me. Just double checking here. Terry, can you hear me? Terry, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, good. Thank you. We're just going to wait a minute for a few others. Okay, let's go. We're just going to start. Okay. That started. This is started. Okay. So today we're dealing with Saturn, and Saturn in a way holds everything together. It's the boundaries and the structure of everything. When we look at the traditional meanings of Saturn, the Grim Reaper, the Father, responsibilities. Yeah, it's that. It's serious. Saturn is a kind of serious factor. It's not. It tends to, where Jupiter tends to expand, where Mars tends to make things happen. Jupiter tends to be the adrenaline that takes it further or guides it. Saturn is the awareness of limits. You know, if you got a car, you have a gas pedal, you have a steering wheel. Gas pedal's Mars, steering wheel's Jupiter, Saturn's the brakes. So, yeah, as usual, we'll just have to talk around it a little bit to get going in this. But Saturn physically represents your bones, your teeth, your skin. So literally, the expression, the old bag of bones, is a Saturn expression. And Mars is the muscles that move the bones, that hold the pieces together in place. So all life is a battle between muscles and bones. When the muscles are too strong, we break bones. When bones are too strong, we can't do much. We don't move too much, or where bones are weak, they can't support the Mars, the muscles. Sometimes having that little practical or physical thing, but in life, any type of skin problem, eczema, especially eczema, but dry skin, Saturn, you know. I mean, our whole body is built on this, the whole upper body, and then the lower body is resting on this like half-inch disc on the bones, and the muscles are moving both ends. A lot of people start off strong, but they end up with weak bones. Many people start with weak bones. And it's not an equal thing. We all have these factors, but they're all representing there in different amounts or different perspectives or different degrees of accentuation. Everyone's got all the planets. All the planets are in relationship to all the other planets. It's the same for everyone, but the little differences start to make it so much unique. It's very hard when you're having a health problem not to talk about it or not to see that it's a big imposition or a big restriction. And basically any health problem, until you take the time, Saturn, to fix it, it's going to limit Saturn what you can do. But usually if there's a Saturn problem that's built up over a period of time, well, sometimes you're born with it, but things can be built up. By the time you have to fix it, probably you should have fixed it a little bit every day for years. There's a time factor involved with Saturn, a delay factor, a pausing factor. So when you think about Saturn, it's like you're a teenager. Suppose you're a teenager, and there's a big social function party, picnic party going on for the kids at school. You know, and it's going on from the afternoon into the evening to the dance. And you're asking your parents if you can go, and they say, sure, you can go, but I'll come with you. Well, instant kill. Restrictions. You got a perfect date or you got a perfect weekend to take off, and you got to ask the boss, can I have time off? Again, there's pressure. So maybe you can even think just like dishes, doing dishes. Astrology is like dishes. And we're either, some people, me, I can't stand to pile up of dishes. So I'm washing the pots and washing everything as I am cooking. So they're all done before I even hand out the food, before I even put out the food. Not many people do that. Usually, I didn't used to. Usually, some people, you get a little bit ahead. You have a meal, it piles up a bit, and eventually you have to, okay, well, geez, okay, time to do the dishes. I'll go back and do it. And they pile up and they get down and they move up and down, and you have some catch up. That's extra work. You leave it alone, there's extra work. You take care of it, it's not. So there's this delay. Or then there's times, I remember times in my life as a young man, I was traveling, whatever, but you'd use the pots, you cook things, and not always clean. And sometimes you leave a pot there, and there's a pot sitting there for, you just ignored it for a week or two, and suddenly you don't even want to open it. You throw the pot out and get a new one rather than have to clean that mess. Unfortunately, we can't just throw the, well, we can throw the body out, but we still have to clean the mess. So bone problems, joint problems, teeth problems, skin problems, these are all Saturn manifestations. They happen when you're burnt out, overtired, not properly nutritious, not thinking right, not eating too much sweets, not having any restraint, not restricting things, not controlling things. So when we're in a way, like Saturn's kind of like the Girl Guide Boy Scout motto of be prepared. You can do anything you want if you're prepared. But if you do it without being prepared, or you're cut down on the discipline that is needed, you're winging it and your responsibilities are going to be weak. And other people may be hurt or affected because you didn't hold your part together. As a function, well, another thing, listening, your ears and listening is a Saturn quality. How many people listen well? How many people sit still and can actually hear what other people are saying and see the implications or the responsibilities behind? How many people just want to block it off and they don't want to hear anything? So we can be preoccupied with what we're doing and not listening to anyone else. We can be a little bit active and then give and take and do some things and then listen to some things. So the ability to listen and to take things in and to see the responsibility of the results, or hear warning signs, or get being that listening quality, even to listen to good music, what's good, what's bad. Who has the defenses? Saturn's your defenses to what you hear. If you want to be exposed to good music or elegant things, you're going to have to work to get rid of the gross things. And this is so at all levels, relationships, different things, jobs, life. Whoa, you want? Saturn, restraint. Wow, the ability to hear the pauses between notes. All music's just noise. It's the pause between the notes, that silence between the notes that has the mystery or the mysticism in music, has the real feeling or soul of the music. Wow, most people just hitting the notes thinking that's it. But really, it's the space between notes was set by restraint to keep the proper timing. If you got someone keeping the proper timing in a band, or in a group, or an office, someone's keeping things on track, has a time plan and working it, boy, it makes it easy to get things accomplished. As long as everyone's holding their part up. In any group, in any social situation, in any job, in any family, someone's always going to be more responsible than others. And everyone has things they're supposed to be taken care of. No, but not everybody does this properly. And when it starts to become a problem, no one else wants to deal with the stuff you're supposed to have taken care of yourself. I used to love this. I haven't seen this in a long, this cartoon in a long time. It was a Walt Disney cartoon, the grasshopper and the ants. And the grasshopper was kind of like maybe the Gemini, maybe probably the Leo, just dancing through the summer, hopping here, hopping there, oh, singing, oh, the world owes me a living, everything's going fun. I'm just gonna have fun, dance, jump around, play. And he's going along dancing around, and he runs across these ants who are working and being busy and carrying things and loading things. He's looking and says, whoa, slow down, what are you doing? You're working, why don't you laugh? Why don't you dance? What's wrong with you? And the ants are sitting there saying, you'll know, winter's coming. You see, you'll find out, you'll have trouble later if you don't start working. He just laughs and goes on laughing. Of course, later on in the movie, you have the snow coming in and the cat and the grasshopper shivering and shaking and freezing, and the ants are warm in their home with all the supplies. So this is like life. The people are like this. It's not just a cartoon. It's a good statement. If you work for something, you've an accomplishment, it's yours. If you haven't, you have an accomplishment. Other people have, and you can get a negative sense of disassociation to authority. I didn't do it, they're doing it. It's that system, it's not me. And you get disassociated with things by Saturn. It's the negative type of Saturn. I'll never do that. I could never do that. I would never take the time for that. Like, these are all Saturn discussions. So Saturn, when you're thinking of it as a function or as an energy, it's defense, it's caution, it's discipline, it's restraint. It's self-discipline, self-restraint. How much self-discipline do you have? How much restraint do you have? Battle in my life, I have Mars square Saturn, but I'm pushing, Saturn's holding back, and it's hard to drive the speed limit. It's where do you put the brakes on to slow down? When do you calm down in your life? How do you deal with kids? How do you deal with responsibilities? Did you work and get your education? These are all Saturn things. We run into them. But Saturn's the limit of what you can do. But as a function of self-discipline, of restraint, of caution, of defense, of listening, it's a serious concern. Listening for who's responsible, what work do I have to do, what do I have to do, how do I get it done? Some people do it right away so they can have the rest of the time free. Some people delay it till it catches up to them, and they have to either do without or really catch up later. But this is true with our life. Who's responsible for our life? Who's messed up our life? Usually we blame my parents because they set the pattern and I didn't succeed. So they're to blame because I didn't succeed. It's not the way it works. How much did you help? It's true. There's some messed up parents. And so we start going into looking at, everyone has different degrees of structure. It's important when you're looking at social phenomena and social interreactions, it's important to see the strength, the ability to get actions, the ability to have restraint and know where limits are, to accomplish things, to work hard for a while, to be prepared for things. That's Saturn, and the wisdom to understand it. Those Mars, Jupiter, Saturn are the functions that you see how people interact with each other when you're trying to see how a business works or a family works. It's on these levels.